Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today we will present on the topic of Whistleblowing Protection Act. In recent years, many issues has been raised within an accounting and auditing profession in relation to financial reporting. Among the issues identified are those concerning whistleblowing. This is due to the growing trend of corruption, lack of integrity and transparency, cases of fraud and financial misconduct. Following this issue, Whistleblower Protection Act was introduced. Before we go further, I will let Zeha explain first what exactly the whistleblower is.
Thank you, Izzati. Whistleblower is someone who, without authorization, discloses confidential or classified information about a corporation. Whistleblowers frequently claim to be acting in the best interest of the public. The term whistleblower was originally applied to the government employee who exposed waste, corruption, or mismanagement. Based on Bursa Malaysia's Berhad Whistleblower Policy, the policy aims to strengthen corporate governance. It provides a formal confidential platform for employees to report serious concern about improper conduct and wrongdoing that could harm the company or its subsidiaries, their employees, shareholders, investors, or the general public without fear of retaliation, as well as to protect whistleblowers who report claims of malpractice or improper conduct. Improper conduct is a behavior that a reasonable and sensible person will not do. This policy also acts as a warning, which orders the company to correct any errors before they cause significant harm.
According to Bursa Malaysia, whistleblowing is defined as the deliberate, voluntary disclosure or reporting of individual or organizational malpractice by a person who has or had privileged access to data, event, or information about improper conduct by an organization that is within its ability to control. For advantages, whistleblowing is a preventive measure for reducing the likelihood of malpractice and irregularities. It allows organizations to efficiently monitor their policies and business principles by gathering information on abnormalities that should be addressed as soon as possible. Whistleblowing is regarded as a very efficient strategy for combating fraud. While for disadvantages, having a legal testimony, media interviews and investigation might jeopardize the whistleblower's employment. Furthermore, all of the media attention may harm the whistleblower by blacklisting them in their profession. The whistleblower also may face threat from all directions, including former co-workers and managers.
Okay, moving on to the report of improper conduct. This report is basically prepared either from employee or external parties. Employees who witness improper conduct are required to file a confidential report in writing. For external party who wish to report improper conduct by an employee can do so through the organization website, which contain information on the reporting procedures. According to Bursa Malaysia, a report of improper conduct may be submitted in writing to the Chief Internal Auditor, who is an appointed officer, and must be marked as confidential. However, in cases where improper conduct involves the appointed officer, the group managing director, or any other member of the board of directors, then the whistleblower must submit their report directly to the audit committee chairman. Additionally, the disclosure of improper conduct may also be made directly to the audit committee chairman. For content of reports, it usually includes first, information on the whistleblower, second, information of employee involved, third, description of improper conduct, fourth, dates and places, fifth, witness information if any, and lastly is any evidence of documentation if any. Okay, moving on to the anonymous reporting. So, anonymous reporting is a method of submitting whistleblowing report without disclosing one's identity. To protect the whistleblower identity, businesses must ensure that the disclosing individual cannot be recognized based on personal characteristics. Some businesses prefer and don't like anonymous reporting because it is very hard to confirm the facts or get more information for research. A company is really not supposed to look into anonymous claims, but the company might look into anonymous claims if they are serious enough and if the problem is convincing and if trusted source can be backed up to the claims.
In Malaysia, the act that protects the whistleblower is the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. This act is to encourage people that they may not be afraid to reporting a misconduct or corruption that happen, whether in the private or public sector, as the WPA will protect them from any inappropriate harm.
Thank you, Mira. And now I will continue the presentation with the question, who is covered under this Act? So, according to the WPA 2010, Section 6, Subsection 1, WPA cover any person that make a disclosure of improper conduct to any enforcement agency, based on his reasonable belief that any person has engaged, is engaging, or is preparing to engage in improper conduct. So, the person covered under this Act could be any employee or any other person. Next, I will talk about what Act will provide as protection to whistleblower from any act prejudicial effect of disclosure. So this we can see under Sections 7, Subsection A, B, and C of WPA 2010. So the first one is protection of confidential information such as name and also private information, including in trial court. So B is immunity from civil and criminal actions, and lastly is protection against detrimental action, including any person related to. So I think with this act that given by WPA 2010, so the community will not scared or also will be brave to be a whistleblower and disclose any improper conduct. So what is detrimental action just now? So it means that anything causes loss or damage to the whistleblower by any person. It could be employer or any associate. For example, action like intimidation or harassment, discrimination, and also interference with the lawful employment. But we can see in some cases, this WPA will not give protection to whistleblower if the report of improper conduct is not made in a good faith, such as participated in an improper conduct reported, the report of improper conduct is made solely or substantially with the motive of avoiding dismissal, or the employee breached his or her obligation of confidentiality under this policy. So, if you want to be a whistleblower, you must have a good intention or faith so that you will be protected under this Act. So, I think that's all for WPA 2010, and Mira will continue the presentation.
Okay, one of the example cases in Malaysia that related to this topic is the case of Zainuddin versus Siltera Malaysia, Sedembahat. In this case, the plaintiff had lodged a report about the chairman's profile to the MACC and made a protection report under the WPA. After several days, the plaintiff gets a letter of suspended pending investigation for misconduct from the defendant and found guilty, leading to termination from his employment. So, the plaintiff took a legal action towards the damage and claimed that his termination was because of his disclosure of chairman's misconduct to the MACC. The defendant then counters back the plaintiff claims, and one of the claims was he failed to comply with the procedure under the WPA Section 15 as there was no complaint made before he decided to make this legal action. It was held by the High Court correctly that in this section it allows a whistleblower to bring a legal action on his own personal capacity to seek remedies for his reprisal. Therefore, the plaintiff was not necessary to go through any enforcement agency before he took this legal action.
In conclusion, an effective whistleblowing policy has become a must-have for every organisation as it can aid in the construction of a safe and transparent corporate governance environment for all stakeholders. Other than that, this policy also provides an appropriate and proper reporting channel for employees to act as whistleblowers by disclosing any improper conduct happening in the company. That's all from us. Thank you.